Kia ora everybody, my name is Glenn Dougal. I'm one of the directors at Wave Creative Communication Agency. Wave has been commissioned by Tauranga City Council to look at ways to run an educational campaign to simply stop people flushing wet wipes down the toilet. The campaign itself's been in construction for around about the last 6 to 8 months. And the campaign has just launched, so it actually officially launched last week. So today what I'm going to be sharing with you probably over the next 30 minutes is a quick sneak peek at the campaign, what's been launched this week. Also a little bit of a preview on what will be launched coming over the next few months. And then also give you some indications about how your local authorities can also get involved. With Deborah and Tauranga City Council and myself also spoke at the Water NZ conference a few weeks ago, and we got some good reaction there for some other councils wanting to get involved. So this is all done in the spirit of sharing a campaign in its very early state, but also giving people the opportunity to get involved. So I think the more people we have involved, clearly the more traction we will get with the campaign. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you and take you through some of the creative and some of the rationale for the creative. So the Wet Wipes campaign, what are we doing? So Water New Zealand has commissioned Wave to investigate the expansion of this campaign, running Tauranga City Council's campaign and making this a nationwide campaign. So what we're going to share with you today is the basis of Tauranga City Council's campaign and also some of the research that was done into that to actually find out how we can actually influence personal change around wipes. So the campaign itself, and we'll come into the rationale later on, is all around about saving our pipes from wipes. And it's all around turning a negative action and turning it into some sort of positive action that people can take part of. So what we've tried to do is create a rallying call. So it's not about trying to save the council money, it's about doing something for my town, my friends and my family. And that came out of a bunch of research and insights that we gathered in how was the best way to actually enact change with people. So the clear objective of the campaign was to stop people flushing their wipes down the toilet. That was the simple objective. But first of all, how are we going to stop them doing that? We needed to understand why people are using wipes. So I think this is probably known to all of you on this call about the size and scale of the problem. So this campaign was all around trying to get into the psyche of our ratepayers and work out how we could get them on board with taking on this issue. So first of all, why were they using wet wipes? Well, they want to feel clean. You're being told that you're being environmentally responsible because they're being marketed to you as they're flushable. And clearly they're also a convenient form as well. So why would you want to stop? Well, these are some of the reasons that we might give people why they want to stop. They can save themselves some money. They'll certainly save their local council money. You'll be helping our environment. No one wants to cause a blockage in a system, in their own system or in a city system. You don't want to feel like you're being misled by the manufacturers and the brand, which we believe is currently happening with the incorrect packaging that's taking place. And you also don't want to feel like you're contributing to the problem. So what's getting in the way of our average people in the public? What's stopping them from doing this? So first of all, they don't know there's an issue with the sewage system. They're believing the packaging. They don't see the consequences of them flushing wipes or the non-3Ps down the toilet. The blockages don't affect them personally. There's no alternative that works well and is convenient. And there's, I pay my rates and it's the council's responsibility to fix it. It is an embarrassing topic, and so therefore it can have, it's an easy topic just to forget about or pass on. And there's a whole issue of privacy. What I do in my toilet is my own private business. I'm not going to share that with you as the city council or a regional council. So the things we considered then in constructing this campaign was, the first thing is the user is not always the purchaser. So the decision to use wipes in their house is not theirs alone. People certainly get defensive if you attack their behaviour, especially if they think they're doing the right thing. And at the moment on this issue, we believe people think they are doing the right thing. They're being marketed to that these wipes are flushable, and they're also being told that they're biodegradable. So for them, that means putting them down the toilet makes sense, and they don't believe they're doing anything wrong. And the last insight we got was that people are proud of their town. They want to do the right thing, especially if everyone knows what they think they're doing is the wrong thing. So from that, we came up with the core insight for the campaign. So what people do in the toilet will not be influenced by the council. It's going to be influenced by their friends and their family. It's going to be influenced by conversations. So for a creative strategy, what we've done is we don't want to tell them to change their behaviour. We can't do that as a council. The message won't be credible. So what we want to do is we want to let their friends and family do that for us. We don't want to make it a personal change, but we want to make it a social change. So we want this to be a social issue that's talked about. And we've had some great recent case studies in New Zealand around about plastic bags. Going further back, there's microbeads. All these things have been driven, first of all, by social change, which has then driven personal change, which has then ultimately led to successive legislation and acceptance. So what I'm going to show you now is some of the creative that's been developed. So first of all, wipes is a problem created by an individual, but it's an issue for the whole group. So therefore, we wanted the group to talk about it. So how do we get an issue that people will talk about at the shops, they'll talk about over the water cooler at work, they'll talk about it down the pub or when they're out with friends? How do we get an issue of flushing your wet wipe down the toilet after you've done number twos? How do we get that socially acceptable to be talked about? That's actually the real challenge, to get this issue talked about without people brushing off the issue and laughing through it. So we need to make it a social issue, and we need to make it a bit of a mission to society to take it from being your problem to being our problem. So to do that, what we've tried to do is create a call of action that everyone can remember and say. And that call to action is save our pipes from wipes. So what we're trying to do here is turn a negative into a positive. It's a rallying cry. It's about, I'm going to take some positive action to save our pipes. I'm going to do something to help save money. I'm going to do it for my town. I'm going to do it for my friends. So save our pipes from wipes is the rallying cry that we want to get people out there. It's not about telling them not to do something. We're not telling them don't do this, because our research and our insights are telling us that just washes over people. We need to get them behind a cause, and our cause is saving something. We're not saving dolphins, we're saving our pipes. We're saving our pipes from wipes. So wipes, it's an issue that we don't see, we don't hear about it, we don't want to talk about it. It's a real hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. But the fact is, it's a big problem. In fact, it's a jumbo problem. So how do we get people talking about it? So here in Tauranga, over 2 tonnes of wet wipes are getting stuck in the drains every week. It's a huge problem. It's not a pretty sight, and it's not something I want to talk about, see, or share. So how can we visualise that? How can we visualise the size of the problem and that problem is affecting people? So what does 2 tonnes actually look like? So here in Tauranga, that's like pushing an elephant down the pipes every week. And man, I'd like to see that. So let's show them that. Let's make it easy to understand, give the subject some charm and make it a compelling statement, and a statement that I can talk about with my friends and my family. Let's make it accessible. So how do we make it accessible? So what I'm about to show you now is the material that we're using for Tauranga City Council. The Tauranga City Council is sharing this in the spirit of everyone on the call here is experiencing the same problem. And we're about to show you the campaign material for them. So obviously this materials are not to be shared without Tauranga City Council's consent. So the first thing we're going to talk to you about is the mechanic, about how we're doing this. So we're using social media and digital marketing techniques. They're the first stop. Here at Wave, we're able to build out some comprehensive, highly targeted campaign messaging that targets into the news feeds of residents that we want to target. And we've set about creating a whole lot of custom audiences and lists and build up target lists of people who we're going to remarket to. And this is how we're first going to drive awareness of the wet wipe problem. And then we're going to build up an audience of people that we know are interested in the issue, or that we've got them, we've targeted them somehow. And then we're going to retarget them with a series of education messages. So the first thing we did was create this elephant. And here's this elephant going down the toilet. That symbolises our wipes going down the toilet. And the message that our elephant is delivering is save our pipes from wipes. Over 2 tonnes of wet wipes clog our pipes every week. And that's a billboard that's going up around Tauranga at the moment. And it's also messages going out on the back of buses as well. So it's a really simple message. It's a fun elephant doing something unique and different to create some interest around our Save Our Pipes from Wipes strapline and headline. Then what we've also done is we've created the first stage of our social media campaign, which is a little video. The reason we're using video is it's a great way that we can capture audiences and then remarket back to them. So Facebook allows us, once you've watched our video for 3 to 4 seconds, we're able to capture some more information about you and then retarget you later on. So what I'm going to show you now is the video that's been running for the last week, which explains the problem. But its main purpose is to get people interested in talking about the issue. So there's a number of things we've done in this video. First of all, it's an animation. Second of all, it's got a really catchy background tune that we want to get people interested in the issue. And it's just starting to raise the issue of 2 tonnes of wipes stuck in our pipes every week. That was the main purpose of that video. That video is to us to capture who's interested in this issue and who we can retarget. So I'll just share the video with you now. Hopefully on all your screens now you should see a little elephant. Well, it's actually quite a big elephant. He's 2 tonnes of elephant. And I'll play this video to you now. The video runs for 30 seconds.
Wipes, wipes, wipes in the loo. Wipes, wipes, wipes in the loo. Wipes, wipes when you make number 2. Wipes in the loo are blocking. Stuck in the sewer pipe, poo and goo. Stuck in the sewer pipe, poo and goo. Stuck in the sewer pipe, poo and goo. Wipes in the loo are blocking. Save our pipes from wipes.
So that was our social media video that we've been playing this week, and I'll talk you through some of the results later on in the presentation. What we've done there is the whole idea of that video was to make the issue a little bit fun and break down some of these barriers of why people don't want to talk or think about the issue. So we've taken a classic nursery rhyme, which is "Skip to the loo, my darling." We've taken that and we've put some new words over it. And we had some local singing talent at Tauranga City Council actually sing the song for us. And we're introducing our elephant going down the toilet and starting to show what a 2 tonnes of elephant in our pipe start to look like. So we're just starting to educate people around the issue. So I can share with you a little bit of the results to date. The campaign's been going for a week. So the campaign launched Monday last week, so it's basically been going for 8 days, and we're really impressed with the results. So remember that Tauranga has around about 120,000 residents, so we've had 130,000 impressions of the video. That's reached around about 70,000 residents or ratepayers. The video has been viewed some 50,000 times, so clearly some people have watched it twice or 3 times. And of those 50,000 views, we know that those are all people that have watched it at least for 3 seconds or more. That's our magic number, because once they've watched it for 3 seconds or more, we know we can start to then retarget them with follow-up messages as the campaign extends towards the end of the year and into next year. We've also had, surprisingly, over 250 people have shared it. So they've picked that video up and they've shared it in their news feed with other people. So the comments that we're getting lots and lots of comments around the video. People are liking the song. They want to buy the song on iTunes. There's lots of conversations that are going on. And this is what we want, because there's these conversations of people talking about it, sharing it, liking it, which is amplifying our message. And we're talking to people that normally wouldn't want to engage with the Tauranga City Council, or 2, wouldn't even want to engage in this type of issue. So the first week out of the blocks, the campaign's really exceeding all of our expectations. So what's going to happen next is, once people have seen our video, which will happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks, that then enables us to build a more targeted list of ratepayers that we then want to target. So we'll then break those down into even smaller groups, and we'll start to retarget those people with more specific messages about what damage is being done, which might be more relevant to them. So here's some examples of the posts that will start to roll out over the next 2 or 3 months. So here our elephant now, rather than being a video, our elephant becomes a cartoon character set in the background of local iconic spots. So for example, we've got our elephant on Pilot Bay Beach in Tauranga, but that could equally be our elephant at Sinclair Beach in Dunedin. So it's our elephant running onto a beach and talking around about that if you continue to flush your wipes, then the wipes end up somewhere and that may end up closing your beach. Or for example, the top one there, we've got our elephant with lipstick on, and he's wiping off the lipstick with a wet wipe. Please remind you that you need to bin those ones. So again, each one of these posts will be targeted at different individuals who are at different ages and stages of life, to make the issue a little bit more relevant to them. And then starting up in 2019, our elephant will then also start to morph into educational material that will be used in the school educational curriculum. So there'll be badges that'll go out to school kids, and there might also be some curriculum material that is created as well. So the campaign itself has started now, and it's going to run, the targeted posts are going to run between now and run over November, December, and a little bit into January as well, targeting some of the visitors and tourists that come to this region as well over the Christmas period. I thought we'd talk about costs as well, because a number of organisations have asked about what type of investment do they think they should be putting in. So to target something like 100,000 residents with a core creative around this, around using social media, targeted outdoor media like billboards or bus backs over a period of 16 weeks, depending on your region, this is an example of what it would cost. Around about $40,000 is recommended to kind of get the cut through. So that will include social media placement, management for around about 16 weeks. And that's broken down to around about 15K of planning, and then 25K of media placement costs. So that would be local billboards in the area, local bus backs, or whatever mediums are correct for your particular area. If your population base is smaller, so say you've got 50,000 residents, that fee would probably drop down to around about 20,000. And if it was, half again, it might half that as well. So just to give you an idea of the actual costs of the campaign, so you can get a feel for the type of investment that's required. Our friends at Tauranga City Council, when they took this to their elected members and internally within their networks to justify the type of spend in the issue, this actual issue is costing them, conservatively between $600,000 to $700,000 a year to clean the wipes out of the system. So therefore, when you put that across, and how do we stop this, and how do we educate people of where their ratespayers' money's actually being spent, it was a pretty easy type of sell. So that's just to give you some commercials on there. That's pretty much all I've got to say. We're about 25 minutes in, so really interested to see if there's any questions or comments. I'll hand back to Leslie.
Great, thank you, Glenn. I haven't had any comments pop up so far, but what I'm going to do is share with you all now a poll. You can use that to indicate if you would like further information, in which case we'll be following up with you. And if you don't, that's fine. Just indicate no in the poll as well. After that, it's up to you whether you want to log out and in the webinar, or if people have got questions that they want to stick around for, or to hear others' questions, we'll do that after we've put up the poll. So here comes the poll. Hopefully you should all be seeing that on your screen now, and it's just a simple yes or no about further follow-up information. Okay, well, we've had about most of you answer now, so I'm just going to start moving to the question and answers, and you can continue to work on that. So I might just hand this back over to you, Glenn. Paul Wheatcroft asks, what social media channels are you using?
So we're principally using Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and another question from Kelly. Has there been any work to engage with midwives, childcare groups or young mother groups?
Yeah, there have been, but not as part of this campaign.
Yeah, so there has been. Tauranga City Council have a relatively good network where they're out engaging with local community groups at different levels. So that includes midwives, and rest homes in this region is quite critical as well. And then there's also a schools education program that we're involved in as well. They have open days at their water treatment plants where they're engaging with the public as well. We're also looking to, we have on order, getting made at the moment, is a large elephant suit or mascot, and our elephant is actually going to spend some time over the summer out on the beaches handing out information packs. And also when specific neighbourhoods or streets have a blockage that can be tracked back to a particular area, we've got opportunities then to actually engage with that particular community on a more targeted basis.
The other thing was just mentioned that they might know.
All right, another question then from Martin. He asks about the scalability of the campaign and the elephant concept. So your thoughts on that, please, Glenn.
Yeah, we designed the campaign so it would be a scalable to a nationwide campaign. So you'd see that in the creative that we've made, it's the elephant's non-branded. The idea being is that anyone can swap out their particular logo, so we can take off the Tauranga City Council logo and pop in every local council's logo on local content they want to create. The 2 tonnes of waste can be customised. That might be 2 tonnes a month for a smaller region, or that might be, or it might be a tonne a week for another region. So we can certainly customise that. And then the targeting of the Facebook and Instagram posts, that's obviously when we work one-on-one with each organisation to build lookalike audience, customised audiences, and work with you a little bit to understand where you believe the demographics are that you need to target.
Okay, that's great, thank you. We have another question here which I might field from Diana. She asks what the government's doing to change the packaging, which says it's flushable. And at the moment, the answer to that's nothing, which is why Water New Zealand's working on the Australian New Zealand standard, so that we have a basis for enforcing claims that products aren't actually flushable. So the issue at the moment is that the manufacturers of wipes have their own industry standard. They're testing their products against it, and according to their standard, it's flushable. So we have made, Water New Zealand's been in touch with plenty of central government departments to make them aware of the issue, and also to make them aware that the standard's a work in process. And I guess once the standard's fully developed, we'll be re-engaging with central government to make sure that they're on board with enforcing the new standard as the actual method for checking flushability. But that's all the questions that we've got for now. Obviously, we're always available to answer other questions after the webinar. But from there, we'll probably be following up with, I think it's 31 of you that have asked for more information about the campaign. So we'll be following up with you after this webinar. And if there's any further questions, feel free to get in touch with us here at Water New Zealand. Thanks everyone for coming along. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good, nice day. Bye-bye.